44 minutes past the top of the hour. This is TV 47 Weekend Edition. We're taking a look at the impact that artificial intelligence has for the near elections, that is 2027 elections, and even moving further. Joining us tonight, Patrick Kinti. He is Senior Systems Engineer at Techmax Africa Limited. Before the break, he was very beautifully explaining to us how AI really touches on matters 2027 elections, particularly on misinformation and such like, and also touched on cybersecurity, which really is his forte. And the question that I was throwing to you just before we took a short break, alluding to the event that happened, the case that happened on the 31st of January, which is on Friday, and for the business registration service, which is a government organization, by the way, which a number of people don't really know about, holds quite important data for business organizations and such like. There was a whole data breach on the same. Now, when you look at 2027 elections and even moving further, some of this data could belong to someone who would want to vie. And right now, when you look at even in the internet, people have access to this data. Data such as who this person is a proprietor, is the owner of a certain company. Do you foresee any possibilities of blackmail and such like, and someone being told, if you don't do this, then we're going to, tell people this is who you are?
Yeah, so I mean, cybersecurity is definitely going to play a pivotal role moving forward. So like in the recent breach with BRS, a lot of sensitive information has been leaked out there. So you can imagine in a case, especially in our social fabric, a certain prominent person could be involved maybe in a deal that was happened, and his information has been leaked out there. So one of the key things that is going to come in critically, especially around data privacy, this becomes like a two-edged sword, where we say that we want to digitize as a nation, which is a very good move. But at the end, on the other end, we need to be custodians of this data. So that's a big challenge to the government in terms of how then they ensure that they enhance their data security. We can't really blame them too much because we are still in our early days. Look at advanced democracies like America. I mean, they experience these breaches on a day in, day out. We have huge money heists happening abroad. And so I think maybe the challenge to the government and to any person out there who's keeping the information on any cloud service provider is to always start with security in mind.
Right. And the fact that you say we are still in the early stages, even for the viewer, so that you also know, there's the Kenya National Artificial Intelligence Strategy 2025 this year, all the way to 2030, a 5-year plan that the government has. This was released way back in 2018 by the Ministry of ICT. Then, I know in your field, you've maybe taken a look at this particular strategy, just, forecasting what the country needs to do. And you had alluded to earlier the kind of things that we need to do. So even in your final thoughts, what do we really need to do as a country to ensure that our future is solid when it comes to how our usage of AI?
Yeah, so I think maybe to just make this information, first of all, readily available, I think we're heading in the right direction. There are good steps, things like e-citizen portal, which are making things much more easier, our money transfer services. So we are heading in the right direction. So the key thing here is for the policymakers to start to have an open mind, whereby we, instead of issuing statements like we're going to clamp down on social media, how do we then turn this tool and our very youthful and intelligent young population to become the innovators of the future? So that some of these challenges that we're facing, like data security, the plans that we may have for our future, then we have a population that is tech savvy, tech enabled, and they can actually be able to become the custodians of our future. Then the worries about politics and whether I've done the right thing or not, or whether there's an avatar out there, maybe should come last. Because if that leads us, then it means that we're going to sacrifice progress for the sake of politics.
Right. Thank you very much, Patrick Kinti. He's a Senior Systems Engineer at Techmax Africa Limited, just helping us understand our future of artificial intelligence in the country, even as we look at the 2027 elections? What do we really need to do? What does the government need to do? What does IBC need to do? Most importantly, what does you need to do? I'm pretty sure the people who have been amazed by your wisdom here tonight, you could probably tell us where they could follow you for more of these insights.
Yeah, so...
and probably, sorry to cut you short, and probably even advice to the young people. Yeah,
so like I said, my name is Patrick Kinti, working at Techmax Solutions Africa. So they can get us on Twitter, Techmax Africa. You can also follow us on LinkedIn as Techmax Africa.
Okay.
And I think to the young guys, there's been a lot happening in the past 2 weeks. I think for me, the advice to them is that Rome was not built in a day. So they just need to be a little bit patient with their dreams, but definitely they need to be on the right path of AI. So with Matters AI, there's a very important question that I was hoping you'd ask, maybe could be my parting shot, is will AI replace human beings? So the simple answer to that is that human beings, AI will not replace human beings.
Okay.
But human beings with AI will replace human beings that are not using AI.
Right.
So you need to join the bandwagon.
Food for thought on that particular bit, even as you continue with your food this particular evening. I'm used to Stanley Nyeringita. Kinti, thank you very much once more. And thank you very much to you who has been tuned in from 9 p.m. until now, about 10 minutes to 11 p.m. Have yourself a beautiful week ahead. Go ahead, Ray.